Welcome in, Warchant.com, Warchant TV. I'm Jeff Cameron alongside Corey Clark and obviously Gene Williams. And it's an emotional day, obviously. We just came from covering practice, but that's not what's on the minds of all of you and certainly all of us here at practice. It was the passing of one Bobby Bowden, the legend. And we had an opportunity today to hear from coaches who played directly for Coach Bowden. It was an emotional time for them, obviously, and we'll set that up for you so that you can hear the audio from Odell Hagens, who was emotional, and Ron Dugans, who was as well, as you could imagine. We also heard from Coach Norvell about what Coach Bobby Bowden meant to him as he was growing up in Irving, Texas, and later on, obviously, became the head coach at Florida State. Gene, I'll start with you. Obviously, you and I go back a long ways in covering Florida State football, and there wouldn't really be a need to cover Florida State football if it wasn't for the great Bobby Bowden. Your thoughts on today?
Well, you knew this was coming, but it doesn't make it any easier. I mean, a guy that was the biggest thing you talk to anybody, Jeff, is how many lives he impacted. My own, yours, everybody else's, in a very positive manner. And just hearing players going around town talking to people, everybody's got a story about Coach Bowden, something he did for them, for their child, for their father, something like that. I remember him a couple times talking to my dad and talking to football. My dad grew up with Woody Hayes, and to hear them talking that, it meant so much to my father. And I mean, he did so much for me, too. I mean, everyone else kind of thought I was a pariah at the time coming out in the 90s. What's this internet stuff? And, man, he gave me a chance. There wouldn't be Warchant either. Florida State wouldn't be what it is. So it's tough, but everywhere you go around here, when I walk in the practice field, I see that tower. He's up there. He'll always be up there in my heart.
You know, it's interesting, Corey. We have a similar story in that our dads took us to games, and I would encourage you to go to warchant.com and read Corey Clark's story. It's a touching story, and it meant a lot to read it this morning. My dad has pictures like your dad did with Coach Bowden and me as a little kid and you as a little kid. Talk a little bit about what today means to you.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's about my dad, really, just the memories we had together watching that guy's incredible football teams. And, Gene brought up Woody Hayes, which is a good comparison. The difference, and I tried to touch on it in my column, all these other fans of all these other programs with great coaches, they didn't get to cheer for a guy like that. Yeah. Woody Hayes wasn't Bobby Bowden the person, clearly. Bobby Bowden was just a great person. And, I remember this, I talk about in my column about how he treated me when I was 8 years old, but I remember after Florida State played Alabama in 2007, the Xavier Lee game, Bowden and Saban are walking in the tunnel, and a woman asked both of them, they're about 100 paces apart. One woman asked Saban for his autograph. Nick, can I please get an autograph? An older woman. And Saban looked at her like she had asked if she could stab him in the chest and kept walking. Bowden comes, and he's like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever you need, and took a picture with her and signed multiple things for him. And that's just Bowden. He would, no matter what kind of mood he was in, if they lost, if they won, he was a good person, called everyone buddy, and just was approachable and a nice human being. And you can be a winning football coach, a great football coach, one of the best to ever do it, and be a nice human being. And I think that's what Florida State fans take solace in. The guy that built their program was a guy you could be proud of.
Tonight on Warchant.com, we'll have an opportunity. We're going to do a roundtable. All of us will be there at around 7 o'clock, I believe it is, Gene. We're going to do that. And it'll be great to share some stories about Coach Bowden. I'll have the opportunity to do that there as well. But I want to remind you of that. That's it for now. Over at the stadium, obviously, fans are filing in and paying tribute to the great Bobby Bowden.
Well, I think I've told people before, that was one of the reasons that I came to Florida State. Because this program was the standard. It was. How he did it. It was different. There's plenty of places that they care about the jersey number. He cared about the heart. He cared about the experience. I came here because I wanted to get back to that. I want to get back to that with what this program stands for, on the field, off the field, the impact that it can make. He changed coaching. He changed it. He's a special man.
They talk about how many football games he won. They talk about how many national championships he won. But look how many lives he won. Look how many lives he saved. That's the most important thing.
You can't think about Florida State without thinking about Coach Bowden. That's powerful. Coach Bowden, I grew up in Tallahassee. Just getting a chance to see this stadium change. Getting a chance to see, the fans go from 40,000 to 20,000, whatever it may be, up to 80. Seeing just both sides of the railroad track come together. The impact that he had on Leon County and the surrounding areas. You know, just his influence alone, you know, impacted a lot of people's lives.
I got to see him last week. Came in, hey buddy, how you doing? Hey, reach down here, buddy. I reached down and he gave me a kiss on the jaw. I love you. Coach gonna be all right. That's what he told me. And we started talking about the old time.
You know, him showing the love to my grandmother, him showing the love to my grandfather, my mom, and my aunt, and my uncles. The man's done a lot for me. He's done a lot for my family. And I love him and will miss him.